Hi guys, so we're here to talk about what we had learned at the Standard Process Culinary Experience that we attended last weekend. And we just wanted to do a quick review on some important things that we had learned. One of the speakers, her name was Pyra Kamani, and she talked about prioritize the lifestyle needs of the patient. What she does is she's the CEO of the Living Matrix, which is a platform that's used to evaluate and create personal, accountable care plans to help people reach their healthcare goals. So they collected a whole lot of data, and some of the data that they found was that Colorado is actually the healthiest state in the United States. But it has 59% of people who are overweight and obese. So that's some pretty interesting data. But the key takeaway from her talk was important for healthcare professionals to look at clients and patients full spectrum. Understanding their healthcare needs, understanding any trauma, abuse, or crime that they've been a part of, and addressing pain and fatigue first to open the door to begin change for other behaviors. Another speaker we had was on flavor profiles. The key takeaway from that was introducing diet modifications slowly instead of diving into something entirely, because people tend to be more resistant when it comes to changes that come at you very quickly and drastic changes. So doing things in moderation to again eventually get to that change. I took some notes, so just bear with me. We also talked about public health interventions from Dr. Hokenton from the Cabarrus Public Health Director. He was the Cabarrus Public Health Director for 30 years. He discussed how heart disease is still the #1 killer, and we have cancer following with unintentional injury, and then chronic lower respiratory disease as the list of killers in the United States. One thing that he talked about is embracing healthy communities by adding community gardens or making food pantries have more fresh fruits and vegetables for the public to have access to. We also had another speaker, Megan Hamrock. She talked about public health nutrition. Let's see. She had discussed how there's a big misconception on eating healthy can be very expensive, when in actuality the average American spends about $1,400 on medications each year. So she just discussed how investing in your health through whole food supplements and exercise and proper health care is actually not expensive. And embraced using vitamins and minerals as the first line of defense when it comes to any imbalances within the body. She also talked about how much money is spent on soft drinks and the SNAP benefit program. People who use SNAP benefits as the United States, they spend $123 million on soft drinks through SNAP benefits each year, which says, we've got a real issue in nutrition and having the community understand what is healthy and what is not healthy. Let's see. We also had somebody talk about the future of bread, which was really cool. The key takeaway from that was, good bread is healthy, bad bread is not. Like the white Wonder bread is definitely not a good source of bread to have. So he talked about local artisans who do craft bread making, and it was actually really cool. Lastly, we heard from the Wild Hope Farm, and it's a 350 acre organic farm in North Carolina that uses solar energy and water recycling. And they're really focusing on leaving as little footprint as possible on their farm, but then providing communities with fresh food and fresh fruits and vegetables at local farmers markets.
Yeah, they actually touched upon some more interesting information. I didn't have too much to say prior because Jess attended the whole seminar. I was only there for the second half of it. But in terms of the organic farming, she told us some interesting facts about how they avoid spraying and what they can do and how they treat the soil and how they put gravel underneath, and it's constant maintenance, but gives you a good organic product. But one of the scary things is that of all the farms in the United States, at least I think she said, only 4% are organic, and they are not a huge farm, but one of the bigger of that 4%. So we definitely need a higher percentage of those organic farms, because most organic farms on large scales are actually owned by traditional farming that do spraying, and really getting good organic food from them is not ideal because they're only separated from non-organic from organic by a dirt road. So cross-pollination is all there, and that affects the food too. And much of that is in the stores. But she did tell us that some of the grocery stores do reach out to these local organic farms, but they require a specific type of look to the food. So a lot of it gets thrown out because they want the bigger fruits and vegetables that show up that people really want. So there are those local food stands, if you have them near you. They're the true heart organic farms you want to see and really support them, because they have the really, really good, dense nutrition food for us.
Just because the fruit or vegetable may turn out ugly does not mean that you can't eat it. It still is very delicious. So it may have a little flaw, but it's perfectly fine. So don't be afraid of those ones. Our day one cooking was awesome. For both days, we did Mediterranean style cooking with Michael Kalenda, and he was our culinary instructor. He was very cool and easygoing. And
he taught us a lot of tricks about cooking, dicing different foods, different techniques to use while you're holding the knife, which was pretty interesting. One of the things that I liked was how to mince garlic with just a large knife on the cutting board. It was different than I was doing it, and it was a lot easier, and you definitely drew the flavor out of the garlic, so I really appreciated that. But he also gave us a tour of the entire school and all the different kitchens that they do different classrooms in for the actual culinary program itself. So it was nice to see that before we actually went in and had that connection with the entire kitchen. They put all the ingredients out, as well as different recipes for us to follow. We got to pick what we liked best, and once we were done, we all helped out each other. So we had a pretty diverse amount of food that we were cooking.
So on day one, we made the himika salad, and I had never had himika before. It's kind of like it's big, and it's got like a crunchy taste to it, like an apple, but more of a potato with a little bit of sweetness. It's kind of hard to explain, but it was good. It was really good. And then they used kocha cheese, and it's just crumbled cheese made with cow's milk. It's similar to feta. And then in the evening, we did some whiskey tasting with chocolate, and it was really great. The woman, broke down different types of the drinks and what really is whiskey, and how to smell different aromas and flavors and what types of barrels they come from. So that was a lot of fun too. In day two, we talked about smoothies.
We did talk about smoothies, all different kinds. I think we had 3 different types. We had a little bit of information on just how to cut different fruits, what you can do with a pineapple, actually taking the very top of the stem off, and although it'll take 2 to 3 years to grow a full pineapple, you can put that right in the ground at home and let that grow. So it's a kind of cool experiment to do if you have younger kids. As they said at the seminar, the kids might forget about it and you'll be taking care of it, but in 2 years you'll have a pretty nice pineapple in your own home.
They used Easy Mag in the smoothies, which is a standard process supplement. It comes in a thin, long package, very portable. You could take with you anywhere. And you open it and you pour it into a drink, mix it up, or you can add it to your smoothies. I actually prefer to add it into the smoothies because it does have a little bit of a grainy taste. I mean, it doesn't make it unbearable, but sometimes if you don't mix it too well in the water, it can float around. It's better either blended or really shaken up very well. But it is a really great product. It's a multi-form magnesium made from Swiss chard and buckwheat, all organic and grown on the Wisconsin farm. It's rich in vitamin K1, it's gluten-free, it's vegan, and it provides you with a lot of the vitamins and minerals that you might be missing out in a day if you don't eat a whole food diet.
The major part about the Easy Mag from Standard Process that I like is that it's not the traditional magnesium lactate that you usually find in the store. This one can cross the blood-brain barrier, so it actually can have a greater effect. You can actually utilize that actual magnesium as opposed to the other ones. It's good, it's effective, but you really can't use all of it and you won't absorb all of it as well. So they've done the research on this and knows that it has a good effect and that you can absorb it.
And then day 2, we made a soba noodle salad. Again, we did the Mediterranean, and it was more with a little bit of an Asian twist to it. So we made the noodle salad, but we finished way early, and we ended up rolling spring rolls. We did little pot stickers, which was a lot of fun.
They had squash and mushrooms inside it. They were delicious,
Mm-hmm.
actually.
And we just worked together collectively in the kitchen with everyone. We were running a little short on time, so we had, all hands on deck, everyone helping each other out. It was a really great experience. So
I think the other thing we made that was really, really good was a lemongrass lemonade, all fresh.
Really mm-hmm.
So that was delicious, something I never had before or even made myself. But definitely we're going to give that a go. We did post some of the pictures of the food that we made, so you can go to the Facebook page and check those out. Hopefully we can actually have access to the ingredients and the recipes itself, so we can post that as well if you're interested in making any of them.
I actually did post the ingredients and the recipes online, so yeah, you have full access to those.
Cool.
And yeah, I just want to thank you all for listening. One really cool thing they talked about with the bread that I forgot to add, which is super interesting. So part of being a bread artisan is looking for the right yeast. So they've been looking for yeast pretty much in all corners of the earth and different types of yeast. And the scientists actually found yeast in the belly of a wasp. That's right, a wasp. So they took it and then they cultivated it to make a lot. And they actually let a brewery use the yeast to make their beer, because this brewery, they didn't say which one, actually was recognized for having the best beer in that area, or I'm not sure what. But so they gave the yeast to the brewery to make the beer, and it made the beer taste even better, they said. So that's a little fun fact that you may not have known. I didn't know wasps had yeast in their belly, but that's pretty cool. So again, thank you for listening. Our standard process experience was very cool.
Awesome.
They're looking to do another Culinary Expo in February, so watch out for that if you're interested. And we hope you guys learned something. Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks a lot.
Bye.